the deal, center folks? Welcome back to the Classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago. Here on iHeartRadio, here on Spotify, here on iTunes, the big three. I figured every episode we kind of shout them out individually, like just kind of call them all out. You know,
right? Yeah, you know, you all have your own little special place in our heart.
Wherever you're listening to us on, thank you and big up to them. I'm your guy Jay Alonzo. With me is my co-host, my partner in crime, my nigga.
Ooh, is that what I am now?
Is that hard?
I can't. I
don't know. I just feel like I should really just get it out there.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know.
David Dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing?
D-Mac, what's going on, man?
I mean, I am very, very sick and very heavily medicated. So if y'all hear some weird stuff this show, it's on you for clicking that listen button.
Your voice is extra deep this week.
I know. It's that white berry white going on.
Yeah, let's call you white berry white.
We got another thing.
Girl, your full play is on my mind. We got a special guest in the house. This cat has been a part of the Beat family now.
It's almost going on a year.
Going on a year now, and we've never shared a single word. We've never had a single conversation. I don't know whether he be busy or I be busy or what, but we've been in a room.
It's both. It's both, man.
Isn't that how family works, though?
Usually how family works. Hey, cousin. Hey.
Yeah, a successful family. Yeah, you know, if we're around each other all the damn time, that means no money's being made.
But I think the last time we were in a room together wasn't even Beat related. It was like at a random house function. But funny ass dude, man. He's now the official co-host of Pillow Talk, which coming up on their next season. Comedian, actor, Army vet.
Yeah.
He has a great goatee. Make some noise for my man Tavon.
What's going on,
Patterson.
fam? What's happening?
What's going on with you, big dog?
A whole lot of everything, man. Just living life and enjoying the journey.
Why you been dodging me, man? I feel like
listen, Jay, man, you guys record at some weird times. So you know, I'm usually trying to be in the house, tucked away from violence.
Feeling good and, you know.
Yeah, and the drugs, sex, and alcohol that Vegas has, but no.
What's that old saying? Nothing good happens after 2 a.m.?
Nothing.
Except
sex.
Except sex, yeah.
Except sex.
Maybe a little bit of drugs, depending on what
I'm trying to reduce the drug intake, so.
But here we are. We finally got you on the show.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. This is a show, man.
Man. So,
classic movies. Y'all already got me Googling all types of shit. And I was like, make sure I'm prepared.
We originally, we had another show planned for today, also feature the lovely Truth. However, she couldn't make it. She's still celebrating her marriage anniversary. So
which deserves a hand clap because
absolutely, you know, because
it could easily be a divorce party. So
you have all that fun. Breathe, get some water in between takes, man. But besides that, shout out to Truth and her husband on another a beautiful year of marriage and love between the two. Love the kids as well. So what we did was we called we called an audible.
Omaha
show. Ha!
Peyton Manning. So
what we wanted to do is before we get into today's topic, we wanted to have the center folks get to know Tavon.
Hey,
do you go by greatness?
I go by Tavon.
Mr. Patterson.
I go by Tavon, man. I'm trying to get people to get used to that name because they mispronounce it so much. Which my 35 years of life, everything. Tavon,
yeah, I figured.
Tavon, Trayvon. I've been called Travell. I've been called Travion.
I've called you Tavon a few times.
Yeah.
Did you say Travell? Where did they say that in your name?
I had a friend back when we were kids, man, and we found out like he really couldn't read. But we found out he just couldn't read. And he was calling me all types of shit.
He's putting in letters that don't belong.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know where you getting these L's, R's from.
It's like
E's.
playing a hashtag. And
it's like, but we found out later on, like in 3rd, 4th grade, we were like, oh, he just can't read, guys.
So
letter's kind of retarded.
So let the center folks know as far as your start with B, and then as far as where'd you come from? Like how did you get your start?
I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I've been in Vegas for about 5 years now.
You're native now.
I'm a native, a vegan. Is that what y'all call yourselves now? A lost vegan.
Yes.
A lost veganese or what?
The Vegas.
The Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm a Las Vegas now. But no, so I've been in Vegas for about 5 years. I've been doing comedy stand-up comedy professionally since 2010. I think I came about the B Network actually when we were at our random house party together. And I think actually the week before I had met Skyler. Shout out to him, man. We was at a bowling event thrown by a mutual friend of ours, man. And we went
to bring the most random of random cats, but the cats that like stick with you. That's what Skyler's good for.
Yeah, because he hit me up, and then like a couple days later, man, he hit me up. He was like, I got a proposition for you about being interested in being a co-host on Pillow Talk. And I was just like, sounds interesting. And it was like a podcast. And I was like, all right, cool. Told him I would try it out. When he told me it was with 2 females, I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm in there. I'm in there. And then I just came through, man, and we popped it off. Shout out to Lady Truth and KC, man. They were welcoming. They were fun, and we kicked it off. And I've been in the family since then, man. And it's been nothing but good things. Just to be around positive people, man, a positive program, a positive family. That's just making things happen from the ground level up, man. So outside of that, it's been a complete grind with me, and then the journey with the comedy, doing stand up, doing comedic writing, submitting skits and stuff for Saturday Night Live and all that jazz. So it's been a great ride, man. It's been a journey, like I said, an experience that I've learned to cherish. I've learned to embrace, and the sky's the limit, man. I'm in my bag. I'm in my zone. I'm getting looks and all that, and sitting down at meetings and with real heavy hitters. So it's a good feeling to just be in a space where I can say the things is paying off. So.
Absolutely, man. Even for me, I think your first episode on Pillow Talk, I think you was on as a guest.
Yeah,
and
I think that was my tryout. They was trying to see if I can mold myself.
Tape.
Yeah, my audition tape, and I think I nailed it out the park.
And I was like, yo, my man's is funny. Like my man's is real funny. And I thought the dynamic between the 2 women, and of course getting a man's point of view.
Yeah,
I mean, it changes the dynamic of the show in a much more positive way. To where like we're not just being biased about, which is funny about how this show came out today.
Right,
funny thing about it. But it does give that biased outlook on sex from a women's standpoint. Us, and then we got shit to say as well. So for that, on behalf of all men who listen to the show, thank you, my brother, for jumping
appreciate it. I just got to bring the balance and represent.
Tavon, you're the voice for all of us.
Appreciate it.
Listen, make me a sandwich, man. But,
let's face it, if like aliens came down and they're like, "Hey, we want the person with like the most amount of knowledge of this."
Yes.
You're
I'm
one
the
of
guy.
founders.
I'm one of the few guys.
This is our best representative. We can
Definitely that guy.
send out there.
Definitely that guy. So, but once again, shout out to Skyler. Skyler has that knack for just kind of lashing on to people who he kind of feels as if has a certain something about him that kind of just
Skyler got an eye for talent, man.
Definitely has and I've known the cat since we was 13, 14
Skyler
years
got
old.
an eye for talent.
You know, he definitely has the eye for talent. So I remember when, like I said, it's a true story. The first time we actually even embraced each other, me and Tavon, was at a house party, also with mutual friends.
And we got forced into playing this. I forgot the name of the game, but it had to deal with males versus females. Right. And of course, it started off with like 8 females, and it was just me and Jay. And we dominated. We won. It was just like, all right. And it wasn't the girls had already knew how to play the game. We were just fresh on the scene, and I was like, listen,
sitting
man,
at the table in the kitchen.
Just think like we think.
Yeah.
And we dominated. And I think from that point on, man, it was like, all right, for the remainder of the party, I was like, this is my homie.
This is my guy over here. You know,
I'll shoot somebody for him
liquor,
right now.
You know, liquor plays a key role in how you bond people.
Yeah. And that's true.
I think we were both, like, I don't know. I was on dark, so I was
on dark as well.
Okay.
I was definitely on dark and a little bit of green. But we were
perfect.
Embracing. And I think the very next week, he was in beat. I said, cool. I like this cat.
This guy makes moves, right?
Hey, all right.
Real smooth moves.
Cool.
So Tavon, what sort of projects you got going on?
Right now, I actually have a play that I'm in. I'm not doing a comedic role, but I got a play coming up called Still Waters. It's the third installment of the Waters family. It's been a play that's been going on in Vegas for some time now. I play the spirit of CT, who was one of the main characters in the other two plays. That's coming up on this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Times are 6 to 8 p.m. on Saturday and 2 to 4 on Sunday. I've got that. I'm working on my YouTube channel, Tavon Greatness Patterson. I've got a couple skits coming out. Something to think about skit, and then
hey man, if you need some extra, hit us for that skit, man.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of stuff planned,
boy,
man.
man.
It's just
do we know about YouTube now?
Think about how far YouTube has actually come.
I know.
We're creating stars every day.
I know.
yeah. So I got those projects coming up, man, and just in the meantime, trying to, of course, get out on the road, spread my wings through the stand-up comedy scene, man, in different venues and stuff like that. So that's what I got coming up, man.
So I'm gonna give you a little inspirational story for you since you're coming up through that. So a long time ago, when 10 years ago now, I used to work at the Bellagio, and I used to work at the ticket office over there. One of the guys that we worked with over there was a stand-up comedian, and now he's like a big name out here. Like he has a Netflix special and all that jazz. I used to work directly with this guy.
Nice.
And so I used to know, used to fall asleep in the break room all the time, and when we had lines and whatnot, but I ain't gonna throw him out. No, I'm totally gonna throw him out.
Because he doesn't work there anymore.
I worked with Joe Coy.
Okay.
Joe Coy?
Yeah.
Joe Coy.
Wow. Joe Coy, yeah, he worked at the Bellagio ticket office several years ago.
Wow.
Nice.
And so now he's he has his performances over with Aces of Comedy over at Treasure Island when he signs up with them. So yeah, so when it comes to comedy, the way that I look at it is that it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. There is no real golden path that's
Nah, it's not. It's not.
The best you can do is to keep just pushing and pushing and pushing. Eventually you'll get your small breaks. You'll move from your open mics you'll eventually be opening for somebody.
Yeah.
Or maybe you get 5 minutes with a spot.
Huge entertainer.
Like a good example, like Comedy Central has this thing called what's it called? It's I'm not supposed to be here, or this is not happening. It's basically like Comedy Central bringing in all sorts of comedians. Doesn't matter if you've heard of them or not, and they basically talk 5 to 15 minutes about a true story that literally happened. And you get some big names, like I've seen Mark Maron on there, and then you get some small names out there. And I'm telling you, that's one of the best things you can catch on YouTube. They have this terrible 1 minute intro though. they do this 1 minute intro, and it's now, who's the dude on Daily Show? Roy Woods? I think that's his name.
On Daily Show?
Yeah. Black guy? Not Trevor Noah, but one of the other guys.
Roy. Oh, yeah. You talking about Roy Woods Jr.
Yeah, Roy Woods Jr.
Yeah.
So he now hosts the show, but it used to be Ari Shafir.
Yeah.
So they used to do these 1 minute intros that drove me up a wall, because it was they're trying to be funny. It's supposed to be a funny skit, and I'm just this is really taking it away from what I actually want to listen to.
Get to the goddamn.
But seriously, it comes from all walks of life. So don't ever feel like if it's too daunting of a task, or if it's too much, or if it's I don't know if I'm ever going to make it. The more you work and the more gigs you get. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, these guys used to get gigs at a Walmart.
Well, and to jump on that, that's what kind of makes what we do here at Beat Network so special, because even as we sit here right now, we have shit lined up for my man to do right now.
Right.
But we can't say nothing yet, but we will though.
Of course. So it's the most important thing. And the reason why this is brought up is again, we know it's a passion project for all of us here. It's one of the reasons why we're all doing this. But yeah, sometimes it just takes that extra little bit where it's where you just don't know if the path that you're walking down is the path that you actually want to go. But so many people quit at the finish line more than ever. And sometimes it's like if you wait it out another 2 weeks, if you wait it out another week,
another day,
Yeah, I've always taken the approach, and it was kind of crazy how, like when I started off, I never had the time where I sat down and was just like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Like as soon as I did my first open mic in 2010, I knew like that's exactly what I was supposed to be doing. It just took me
finish rich.
Yeah, it just took me that time to just jump and go at it. Cause I did even when I was in the military, I was never like quite satisfied. Like this is what I want to do with my life. Right, it was always comedy. It was always how am I going to infiltrate that? And so, but what I have experienced is those times where the phone is just dry as fuck. Like nobody's hitting me up. Oh yeah. Or I'm booked at this shit, and then I get there, then the person has told me, well, I double booked and all that, or you booked and you getting something you don't get paid and all. But none of that has taken me away from saying, well, maybe I need a career change or do something different. No, it was just continue on your path. You already know this is a marathon. You already know this is a journey. Embrace it. And it's funny, like when you're walking in your passion and you're walking in exactly what you know you're supposed to be doing, you tolerate the bullshit a whole lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to the point where it's actually fueled me to be like, oh, guess where I just found thank you for the bullshit. Cause now when I had writer's block, now that I've gone through this, I can write about this. So it just fuels me to keep going. And it makes my decision about being a comedian and taking this path, man, it makes it just so much better because it's not just stand-up comedy. Like, I think the thing about comedy is that you can flourish in so many different avenues. Right. You can be a great stand-up comedian. You can be a great just comedic actor. You can be one of the greatest comedic writers of all and all that.
The comedy comes from really just from the stage, number one, but then you become a chameleon. You can really bring anything out of people always say the most nuttiest motherfuckers in the world are stand-up comedians because they're able to convey such emotion, such energy, and basically whatever you're doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, even from, what Kevin Hart's doing right now, even to the late great Robert Williams. So we're talking about guys who give it their all and they can really adapt to any situation that they're actually in. So I can say right now, I think I tried to get on stage one time back in high school days. I'm funny. I'm not give me a mic and let me just go funny. I'm more so like, I'm funny in the moment. In the moment. Hey, look at this hairstyle. It's fucked up, right? Move on. Yeah. That's me. That's you. That's me. So, all right. So, do you get to the movies often? I do. Now that I'm in a relationship, I think we're hitting off, with the Netflix and chilling. We're watching a lot of movies these days, but I have gotten out.
So when we do Netflix reviews, we should
hit me.
Should we hit you up?
When y'all do the Netflix reviews, hit me. If I gotta call in or whatever. No, but I get out to the movies a lot, man. I just recently went to the movies. What's today? Tuesday. I was at the movie Sunday night, Monday night. I saw The Meg.
How'd you like it?
I fucking loved it. Like, just on the level, like I was hoping that they didn't PG it like they did my Jurassic Park. Well, they PG'd it. They PG'd it to a degree, but I was just like the people that were supposed to get 8 got 8. The Meg would have really benefited better from an R rating. I'll say that. But at the same time, though, we mentioned it. Great segue. Thank you, sir.
We mentioned this on our YouTube. On our YouTube show,
Really Bad. It's on YouTube right now. Really Bad review for the Meg. You go in there with low expectations, and I did. I really. Oh did. Yeah, man. My shit was low. I was like, this movie's gonna fucking suck. Trust me. But we left out of it. I remember sitting throughout the movie with Dave, and we're sitting there like little kids, like, oh, yeah. Like, I didn't expect this from the Meg at all. I'm like, this movie is fucking stupid. But we went in there and had a genuine good time with it. I had a genuine good time. So I'm glad you brought that up. Now, in regards to mob movies, what do you look for when you're watching a new mob flick? I'm not gonna say it's a dying breed, but it's definitely a limited amount. The older we get in time.
I don't think it's a dying breed at
No,
all.
it's not a dying breed. But as far as like back in the day when we would get mob movies more often than most, nowadays probably get one every 5 to 6 years. What do you look for?
You know what? I think I look for like what. First of all, I always want to hopefully believe that it's based on a true story.
It's not just
A good amount
of them are, and I think that's what brings out the history lessons in it for me. So when a good mob movie comes out, I do pay attention to the history of it a lot. But it's got to be real. I don't know. It has to have a lot of villains. Like it has to get real. People got to die. And they got to die. And
not just Italians, we're talking.
Not just Italians, I'm talking everybody. Black, white, Mexicans, cowboys, toys. All that shit. Like, I want death. Like, I want, you tried to really take my territory? I'm going to kill you.
You must die.
You must die.
You know what I love about mob movies, honestly, is like, you ever like sat down and had a conversation with like somebody and they're just like, yeah, man, like so-and-so like knew this person from like way back in the day. Oh yeah, I knew somebody that knew Birdman, the dude from Alcatraz.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? So, I mean, I get this from a lot of people. Like I had a teacher that like his grandfather used to serve Lucky Luciano.
Whoa.
But not serve, but like he had like a shop and it was like a tea shop and they would all just kind of hang out there. And it was like one day, his grandfather got super drunk and did not open shop. It was like the only day he ever missed. And that was the day his cafe got bombed by the Irish people over there. And of course, since Luciano didn't show up because he was always there, like Luciano was involved, in there. But it was like, man, you hear that and it's like, that's what I love hearing.
Yeah.
There's a sort of like mythology to like these people. It's like every time, and they do this now in movies a lot too. Like, what was the one with Christian Bale? What, Public Enemies? I think that's called?
Johnny Depp?
Yeah. Christian Bale.
Public Enemies, yep.
So it's like they show like the scene of the FBI agent shooting down Pretty Boy Floyd. And it's like, oh man, yeah. Like I totally know that guy from like reading this. And here in Vegas, we have the actual mob museum.
Which I believe everybody should check that shit out. Because when I went in there, I was amazed. Like, this was how Vegas was made right here. Oh, gee.
So, corruption.
So free advertisement to the mob.
Yeah, free advertisement to the mob museum.
To them. Ready? The mob museum is based off the old courthouse that was used in what's called the Kefauver hearings, which is like this like national tour of Democratic people that like went after organized crime back in the 1920s. What was so amazing about this is that the original courthouse it was still there. So they actually redid the entire Kefauver hearings in there. That and the original St. Valentine's Day wall is still there. Wow.
Yeah.
Staining with the bullet holes and the dried blood stains and I mean all of that, man. Wow. Yeah, so it's like when you see that, you picture it, and you can oh wow, like this actually happened. Like
Tommy gun shit.
Like Capone straight up murdered 7 dudes
right
on
there.
Valentine's Day, and this was the wall that was used for it. So I love it.
Wow. Well, we are Segway Kings today. Segway Kings all day today. So,
boom.
We got my man Tavon here, Greatness Patterson. I love the nickname Greatness. That shit is dope.
Thank you, bro.
If anybody feels himself, you feel yourself. I like that.
Nah, and you know what? Because my middle name is Garrick. And it's one of the most disgusting. Yes, it's the most disgusting middle name ever created. Like, it's horrible. But it wasn't something that I gave myself. Like, when I got into the comedy game, man, and people was asking me my stage name, and I was originally just going with Tavon Patterson. Just call me that. Like, let's get that name out there. First of all, it was too hard for me to just sit up here and try to come up with names. I was like, it sounds corny. I'm like, so my mom, she's just always been a pinnacle in my career and in my life. And she was just like, everything that you've ever done has been great.
Right.
And she was like, you should call yourself greatness.
Hence the name.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Why is your mom so cool?
Like my mom is dope. Like my mom's so dope. But I was just
my
like,
mama say everything you've done is
Pretty okay.
You try some shit.
yeah, I was like,
yeah,
but
Jay can't call himself Jay okay.
And I think it came from I was doing a show in Michigan, and they wanted my full name, and I was like, I don't want them to say Garrick. I just don't want them to say that shit. So I was like, it's G. And then the guy, the promoter guy, he was like, was G, it's just G. And I was like, nah, it's greatness. And he was like, that's super dope. Like, that's super dope. You should go with that. So I've went with it ever since, man. But, I'm still trying to get people to get the Tavon part right.
Gotcha. Well, Tavon, Greatness Patterson is in the building with us today. And we decided to come up with a nice top 5 for the Cinephils. We're going to park the DeLorean this week, and we're gonna do top 5 mob movies on today's BTTC, because we got family here. We kick it back. We chilling. Trying to make sure we get his name right. And I think by the end of the show we'll be victorious. So let's do this. We all took a chance to write down our 5 personal favorites movies, right?
Okay. Yeah, we did.
With you being our guest, we'll let you kick off with your number 5.
Oh, see, I just wrote them down. I didn't put them in order, but I got it. I got it right
cool.
here.
All right.
Okay, my number, starting at 5. The movie Hoodlum.
Which was just on the other day.
Yeah, I fuck with that. 4 would be Scarface. 3 would be New Jack City. 2 would be Godfathers 1 and 2. I had to combine those.
So you are combining them?
Yeah, I am combining those. Just because I can't just pick one. And then Goodfellas. I think Goodfellas to me is the all-time greatest.
So why Goodfellas is number 1? I mean, I know why Goodfellas.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? To me, I just felt like
I know why.
No, I just felt like everybody in that group, man, had a significant story that I felt like after the movie, like you could branch off and make a movie off every last one of them characters separately.
Very true. Very true.
And to me, man, like Joe Pesci was just hilarious in that shit. So,
I mean, Joe Pesci's that small guy with a serious little
Napoleon complex to the utmost degree,
and they just punk me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it made everything come full circle, and it was one of the more appealing ones that just kept my attention when I was into just watching my movies.
Would you accept a Goodfellas remake today?
The casting for that would have to be that's tough. I don't know.
Michael B. Jordan.
I don't even know if they.
Kevin Hart. I was like, where?
Whoa.
Where? It's Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. No, but if they had to go with if they remade it and put a black cast in it, that would be a very interesting casting though. But they got a hit. They got a hit with that. Right. But a Goodfellas remake, just in general, they would have to, like I said, the casting for that would have to be outrageous. And I don't know if they could do it modernized, because people ain't friends and loyal these days like that.
I'm pretty sure we're going to have the same movies on the list. So your number 5 was what?
Hoodlum.
And number 3 was...
Number 3 was New Jack City.
So that's where we connect, because my number 3 is actually New Jack as well.
Which is my number 5.
We'll get to you in a second. We'll get to you in a second, buddy.
But like that.
Sit your fucking ass down for change.
Make change, bro.
I mean,
we gonna take over the Carter, all right?
Gems for days, man. All right, so
see ya. And I wouldn't want to be ya.
If I was you, I'd be looking the pimples on the booty. So, give me a movie that would have made your top 5, but just shy of missing it.
Casino.
That's a tough one. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Like Once Upon a Time in America.
I thought about that one too. And King of New York.
Carlito's Way. Carlito's Way is super underrated.
Yeah, you ever see Carlito's Way rise to power with Diddy?
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It isn't. I mean,
no,
it isn't great.
The original one is amazing.
Absolutely. But Diddy was, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, because was the remake with John Leguizamo, was that the remake or was that the original?
That was the original.
That was the original?
Leguizamo, Pacino, and
Okay.
God, what's his name? I have Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, right.
Yeah,
so, and then the remake came
yeah.
with Jay Hernandez, Diddy.
Who was the chick in that? I could have swore it was Pfeiffer, but I'm wrong.
No, Pfeiffer's in Scarface.
No, I know she's in Scarface. I gotta think of who the chick is. Go on.
So,
And Carlito's.
Carlito's Way rise to power with Sean Puffy Combs.
No.
I'm throwing out there.
Why does it gotta be like a straight black actor? Like why can't it be like a Mexican actor?
Well, it was Sean Puffy Combs.
Why can't it be like Carlito's Way with Dave Bautista?
It was Sean Puffy Combs. So, Danger Dave, you got your top 5 ready to go?
I do.
Give me your top 5.
All right. So real quick, and I want to be fair. We had this discussion. Excuse me. We had this discussion off camera about Tarantino, and I do have to agree with Tavon on this. I think it's okay to put Tarantino films in there, especially like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Like
Reservoir Dogs for sure. Pulp Fiction, it walks that weird line of like, it's not necessarily a mom movie. It has mom elements in it, but it's really combining stories to get to this one particular thing.
I think that's so tough. I think at the end of the day, you could probably say it's a mom movie.
I don't know.
If that's the case, no.
Let me go ahead and take
change this off.
Real quick.
No, I thought because Pulp Fiction is one of my all-time greatest movies. So
no, and I agree. Like Pulp Fiction is a phenomenal movie. It has one of the greatest soundtracks ever, and it literally gives us the best version of Samuel L. Jackson that we've ever seen in a movie. Seriously, there's no better version of Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, he reinvented the word motherfucker.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
My top 5 is going to go New Jack City.
At number 5?
Casino.
Okay.
Scarface, Goodfellas, and The Godfather combined, 1 and 2.
Okay, so... All right, so you said your number 3 was...
Was Scarface.
Okay, so why Scarface at 3?
So, because it's tough for me to put it at 2 or 1.
Above Godfather 1 and 2?
Scarface above Godfather 1 and 2? No.
not at
No.
all. Not even close.
No.
Really?
Not even close.
Look, I love
Really?
I love Scarface, and Tony Montana literally has 2 video games based off of him.
Yes.
In Vice City and the actual Scarface sequel video game that really wasn't that bad.
I don't recall playing it.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Wasn't
actually
like
got
PS3?
to play. I think it was 2. I think it was still 2.
Right.
It was like because they took the sign they had in the back where it was like
The World Is Yours.
The World Is Yours.
Right.
It was Scarface. The World Is Yours, and how he survives a ridiculous attack at the end. I think the only reason why I can't put it above Goodfellas is because Goodfellas at the end of the day is a romance story. For a mob movie, and they do it so well, and Ray Liotta just knocks it out the park. And Godfather's Godfather. Godfather. Without Godfather, we would not have had these. Without the success of Godfather Part 1 and 2, we would not have the success. In fact, fun little fact for you guys about Godfather Part 1 and 2. There's an actor in Godfather Part 1 and 2, and actually 3, that he's the only actor in his entire career to in every single movie he's been in to have been nominated for a Best Picture award. Name that actor.
Robert Duvall.
Nope.
Shit. Hey, that's tough. Yeah. I don't know. Who is my man?
You see why I hired this motherfucker?
Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
I have no idea who that is. I have no idea who that
Abe
is.
Vigoda.
Nope. It's John Cazale. who plays Fredo.
I was gonna say Fredo.
I want to guess that. Fredo?
So John
How many
Cazale,
movies has he been in?
Like 7.
7?
And the reason why is because he died of cancer.
May you rest. Fredo.
He died of cancer. He was actually engaged to Meryl Streep, first and foremost. So engaged to the best actress of all time. He starred in Dog Day Afternoon.
Great movie.
Right? The Conversation, Godfather Part 1, 2, and flashbacks of 3, and The Deer Hunter.
Nice.
Another great movie.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Let me ask you this.
That's a Snapple fact for your ass.
You said New Jack City's at 5, right?
Yeah.
Why 5?
Because I don't think it's better than Casino or Scarface. because towards the end of the movie, like it started to get a little ridiculous.
No, how?
It was just getting
Scotty gets his revenge by whooping Nino's ass.
The only problem that I had with New Jack City was the scene where Ice-T and Wesley Snipes are fighting. And it was clear that he broke in his shit at night. And then when they go through the window, it's 2 p.m. And I was that's the only problem that I've ever had with New Jack City.
Look, all I'm saying, at the end of the day, I just think that New Jack City just isn't as good as the other 4. I don't think that's a bad movie at all. I actually really like New Jack City. You kidding? Of all of the characters in there, I think Tony Montana is probably a little bit more legendary than Nino Brown.
I'll give you that. But
Nino Brown was absolutely ridiculous.
I mean,
he started every single line with a huh.
Nino Brown is just charismatic. He's a piece of shit, but he's so charismatic. I mean, Tony was charismatic as well. But
Tony was charismatic in a threatening way.
Yeah.
Nino didn't get threatening until he started to get like super up there. Like you always kind of thought it was a little bit of a joke at first until I
thought the Carter was serious. I thought the Carter was very serious. Oh yeah.
Well, some of the ways that Wesley Snipes
rockabye grandpa, all that shit, man. I love that shit.
Just listen to the words you're saying and tell me.
it was the fucking 90s in New York. What do you expect?
Who cares? Casino came out in 92.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you why it's not better than Casino. Because in Casino, is Casino the one that Pesci won?
Yeah, he's an actor.
No. Did he win the award for that one, or was it Goodfellas? Okay. You know what? I'll be fair. I'll put it above Casino. All right? I'll be fair.
That's all I want.
No, it's fine.
That's all I want. He wants it off your 5.
But
he wants it up the list.
You cannot tell me it's better than Godfather 1 and 2.
Okay.
Goodfellas and Scarface.
I'm surprised I didn't put it. Would you consider Belly a mob movie?
No. It's a gangster movie. Okay.
Because if that's if we consider that a mob movie, it definitely. Listen, Belly to me was.
I don't know.
Belly's so dope. I love that movie.
Belly was so dope, and I would definitely erase Scarface.
We got Belly coming up later on this year on the show.
Yeah,
stick around. All right, so my top 5, which I kind of believe kind of really different from y'all's. Well, maybe not. Number 5, American Gangster. Number 4, Casino. Number 3, New Jack City. Number 2, The Departed.
Okay.
Number 1, Scarface.
Okay, my question for you: why is The Godfather not in your top 5?
Here's the thing.
This is interesting.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen The Godfather 1, 2, and 3 a total of 1 time.
It's a long movie.
It's memorable, absolutely, and the characters are, Jesus Christ,
legendary.
I'm drawing a blank.
Phenomenal.
Who is?
This is why it's not in your top 5. You can't remember the names of the characters.
Extravagant.
I get the name of the actors. Shit.
Robert Duvall.
No.
Pacino.
No.
De Niro.
Nope.
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando.
Oh my lord! You forgot Marlon Brando,
and
you call yourself a Cinnamon?
I kept wanting to say Martin Landau.
Martin Landau. Might as well just said fucking Martin Sheen at this point.
Wait a minute, Martin Short. Fuck it. But Marlon Brando and what he puts on as Vito Corleone, right? No,
I don't know. Is it?
Are you? Don't give me this look like I just stepped in some shit. Okay, I know what I said. Vito. All right. He represents to me, cause for the longest time, I didn't see Godfather until I was probably already in my teens. So I've always seen Godfather as strictly just him. You know, him with the games and the art and clothing. We see his face on there with the tux on and the flower. That's how I always knew what Godfather was until I actually saw it. Now, actually seeing it, I was blown away by it. This is a really dope ass flick. Long as all fuck, but yeah, I really got into it. However, unlike Scarface or The Departed or New Jack or Casino, I couldn't see myself just popping on Godfather right now and sitting through it right now. However, Scarface being the 3-hour, 10-minute epic that it is, I will pop that shit on and enjoy it thoroughly. The Departed, over 2.5 hours, I will watch it thoroughly. Casino was over 3 hours long, and I'll definitely watch that in a heartbeat. So it's like, it's when it comes to the mob movies.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
Goodfellas didn't even make the list?
Okay, now here's the movie with Goodfellas.
Hold on. Goodfellas didn't even make the list? You put American Gangster before Goodfellas?
You damn right I did. You damn right I did. No, Goodfellas didn't make the list because Goodfellas is 100% that runner-up behind American Gangster. Now, I say that to say this. When it comes to De Niro, Pesci, and the Scorsese treatment, Casino just works more for me as opposed to Goodfellas. Casino is something, but with us living in Las Vegas and knowing what we know about.
Okay, fine, sure, because we live in Las Vegas.
I'm giving you a legit answer here.
It's a bullcrap answer.
No, it's not. Listen, Casino sticks with me way more because it's more relatable.
Come on. Joe Pesci literally wins the award in Goodfellas, because I remember this. Mm-hmm. He wins the award in Goodfellas. And there's a particular scene that you actually see it. And let's face it, Joe Pesci is not a threatening guy. Like, in general, he's not a threatening guy.
I resent that. But I do believe.
Look, you're like 5'4", so I could see why you would say that.
But he's mean with that bat, though.
I'm not saying he's not mean with that
bat swing. I'll tell you that.
But let's face it, like if Joe Pesci came up at us with a bat, we'd be down to scrap with him. But in the Goodfellas, he's totally different. In that there's a particular scene where
Am I funny to you?
Am I funny to you scene?
Because
the entire scene, you're sitting there and everybody's having a good time, and Pesci just turns it on a dime, and you actually felt genuine fear for everybody at that table.
Yeah. That is true.
Genuine fear for everybody at that table. And literally Ray Liotta is like at the end, he's like, I got nothing for you. And then Pesci starts laughing. He's like, I got you. I know I would get you. It's like you realize he's still in on the joke, but you realize he's so threatening as a presence in Goodfellas that you're like shaken up. You're frozen into exactly what he was going to do. He even had the shortest Oscar acceptance speech. Like a boss.
He's like, just thank you, walking off, right?
He's like, it was my pleasure, thank you, and walks right off. Meanwhile, we gave 20-minute Matthew McConaughey speeches.
All right. I got The Departed at my number 2. Here's the reason why.
I'm okay with that.
Now, The Departed
was dope.
For the time that it came out,
dope. Yeah.
For the time that it came out, as far as like the new age of mafia gangster flicks, also done by the god himself, Martin Scorsese.
Sure.
He made Jack Nicholson look scary as shit. And not just scary, a fucking boss, like a boss.
I mean, he made him so popular that Jack Nicholson started to really get into everybody's shit at Laker games.
Yeah, he really did. But I remember seeing the trailer for The Departed, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, no matter what Scorsese does, I'm there open tonight, period. But there's a shot of Nicholson in the shadows as he's walking and he's narrating the scene. Mm-hmm. Smoke is kind of slowly coming out of his mouth because he's smoking a cigarette as he's walking. That same scene is the opening for the movie, right? And it literally gives you the exact context of how you need to view Frank Costello. He wasn't about the bullshit. 100% about his money. 100% about his operation. And then as the movie progressed, and let's say when him and Fitzy, they knock off the one cat at the beach.
Right.
And then
she felt funny.
She felt funny. That line is eerie as shit, and he's laughing about it. A whole another part is when they're about to go. I'm gonna assume they're about to go do the Asian deal.
Right.
Oh, I could be wrong. He walks in covered in blood. Covered in blood. It tells Leo, tells Koskinen, take the night off. Why are you covered in blood? Bro, let me say something. The Departed came out at the perfect time to where you could truly appreciate. No, I'm saying this wrong. The Departed came out at the time where you could literally say this is one of the best mafia movies of the 2010s. Easily.
I could say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easily.
I'm not going to deny you The Departed, because The Departed for me, like, if I'm not feeling one of these other movies, like New Jack City, then I would throw in The Departed.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. If I had to scrap one and throw The Departed in there, I think I would give a backseat to New Jack City. I would.
What am I hearing right now?
And then I like that everybody died in The Departed. Like, I liked that final scene when everybody was just getting smoked.
That's one of the reasons why I put The Departed so high up. That last scene.
When Leo gets shot, I was so fucking shocked. I was like, oh my God.
Not only that, just the way that scene plays out when it goes to Leo, then it goes to Anthony Anderson, then it goes to
Damon. And then whoever the FBI guy is.
Who was also Costello's rat.
Right.
It was bop, bing, bop, hey, bop. Like, it was dude.
I know.
We got bodies. And then, of course, when Wahlberg takes out Damon at the very end, oh, man, The Departed is fucking awesome. Now, to say that you would replace New Jack City, Tavon,
I would, man. Like,
Garrick.
I look at my
Patterson, the third junior.
I would do it. I would do it, man. Oh my
God, I
would do it.
New Jack City represents something as far as like us as like African Americans, we could be like.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the reason why New Jack City I think was so influential is because it gave, and it came out before Hoodlum and shit, so it gave actually African Americans a crime boss, like a real crime boss that people could be like, all right, I can idolize. Because
in the hip era of the early 90s.
Yeah, in the hip era of the early 90s. So it was influential with that. It was. And
yeah, absolutely.
Because everybody wanted to be Nino Brown. Everybody still wants to be Nino Brown for whatever reason.
But they're barely Eminem.
Yeah, they're
Eminem
barely. Listen.
But I will say this, though, and I'll say this about New Jack City. I would say if they were to go with a remake or a reboot of New Jack City.
Jamie Foxx is Nino Brown.
No. I would be for it, though. I would be for an actual retelling of that story.
Yeah, I would.
Because we always say that certain movies do not need to be touched. However, certain movies do need to be redone for a new generation. Yeah. For example, how Fuqua is doing Scarface, and he's trying to push Denzel to play Tony Montana, or Scarface himself, rather. New Jack City would truly benefit from a remake today. Not like Superfly, where you take out Curtis Mayfield for Future. No. But
fuck no.
But I think a remake of New Jack City would definitely
that could work.
It would serve a purpose today. I think it would.
I think my biggest problem with black mob movies is that it's tough to categorize them as mob movies. Like, a lot of people like to categorize them as hoodlum or gangster movies, which I disagree with. But like Menace to Society, right?
That is
it's not a mob movie.
It's definitely not a mob movie.
That's a movie where Cats in the Hood.
It's a hood clip. It's a hood movie.
It's a hood flick.
It's a hood movie. Yeah, right. Boys in the Hood is a hood movie.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Boys in the Hood is a perfect example of that. But it's like really, it's still kind of the same general concept of what a mob movie has. The difference is that mob movies usually, I'm going to word this a little weirdly, so my apologies, but mob movies have a sort of aura of classiness to them. Like when you picture like an Italian mob.
Yeah,
gangster,
we're talking.
Yeah, there were organizations.
Organized crime.
right, it was
Organized
crime.
crime.
It wasn't just like these.
I feel like
gangs
being
hanging
a
out.
man today and use a bitch nigga and I'm gonna shoot you. It's not. It wasn't none of those.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Punk bitch. You know?
And that's what I would want to see. I would want to see mob movies focused on organized black.
And I thought New Jack
Crime.
City was pretty much set around organized crime.
And that's why it's in my number 5.
It's in there.
But
It's in there.
but it's like when I think of like if we're just going to throw in New Jack City into that, it's like I almost want to consider like if we're just taking it as a whole picture of that, then yeah, Hoodlum is a great choice. Menace to Society, because of the hoodlum aspect, really takes it out of it. But even Dead Presidents, like that's a
Great call, actually.
that's another one that's like it's right there, but you can't call it that. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of those things where it's like it's tough. It's tough for me one way or the other, because I feel like if we talk about mob movies, it's like generically white and it has to involve mainly Italians.
I haven't seen Dead Presidents in a long time.
It's
been a long time.
That's a great one.
I need to pick that one back up. This has been fun. This has been too much fun. Well, what is your top 5 mob movies? Go ahead and shoot us a comment in the Facebook page, and we can have a genuine conversation about it. But this has been a very fun episode. Shout out to my guy, Tavon Greatness Patterson.
Let me just say,
Finish Rich, which would be the name of your first stand-up special. Finish Rich.
nah, that's the ultimate goal. Shout out to my cousin, man. This is his clothing line that he's got.
Oh,
Back in Ohio.
I need one of them hats.
Shout out to my man Dorian Philly Cuzzo and my homeboy Rocky Duh. Start broke, finish rich. This is their clothing line, man. They got it off and popping.
All right, so let the good people know where they can find you.
You can find me on all social media networks. Tavon Greatness, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I don't Snapchat a lot or at all, really, but I'm on there. Just
So you don't have the dog ears?
I don't have the dog ears, filter
Snouts,
pick, none of that.
shit, yeah.
None of
I
that.
feel like men, we just shouldn't do it.
Not at all.
You know,
It's just weird that we do it.
they're with
you know?
you. It's like I keep sharing my Snapchat. But I'm like, yeah, you guys ain't really gonna find me on that.
Yeah, and it's because one, my niece had put a Snapchat on. She was like, "You need a Snapchat," and I was like, "All right, well, you run it." So I let her run it, and I just don't use it. Like, so if I'm with her, then you can possibly catch me in the dog ears filters because that's what they like to do.
And you can't not do it.
And you can't not do it. Like with my niece, I just cannot not do it.
Yeah, my daughter the same thing. Once the baby's like, all right, come on, man.
Yeah, just all right, put them on and take them off. But no, that's where you can find me in the Las Vegas comedy scene, man. I like to pull up on all the open mics.
And Pillow Talk new season.
Pillow Talk new season coming September. We're in the works. We got the episodes locked in. We just doing some last minute touch up with the guests, the photo shoots and all that. But that's coming. Shout out to my co-host KC, and we're going to be revealing another co-host. We still coming with the trifecta, but that's coming in September. So you can find me there on the Beat Network family, man. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Danger David Neff, or today is actually under the weather, Neff. But I salute you for getting through this shit like a fucking champ.
He did, man,
like a champ. All right, where can they find you at, brother?
You can always find me on all the major social media platforms: Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm the co-host here at Back to the Classics. We also have our own little YouTube show called Reel It Back.
Reel It Back.
Where we talk about the latest in movie entertainment and do reviews every single week, where we try to drop that every Friday. The Back to the Classics show always drops every Thursday, and you can always find us on Beat Network Online to subscribe to all of our wonderful shows. I have no problem reaching out and speaking back to other people. I know some people have really tried to reach out to me, especially now lately with opportunities for us hopping on other podcasts and whatnot. Have no issues doing that. So please reach out to us, and we can figure something out with that. That being said, that's where you guys can find me. Now, my co-host, Jay Alonzo, Where can they find? Where can they find
Find me
you?
clearing my throat right now. Okay, there we go.
Where can they find you?
There we go. You can find me on all the social medias. Simply at I am Jay Alonzo. That's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. You talk to me and I'll talk back. Of course, like Dave said, back to classics every Thursday. Jump on the Instagram page at BTTC Podcast. Our new Twitter is up now at BTTC Podcast. Holla at us, man. We love talking to the people out there. We love getting your insights. I was just telling the fellas that people want to come and actually watch us do the show. There's no space in this here room to do that, but we're going to try to make something happen.
That would be dope.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That would be super dope.
And like Dave said, reel it back. We got some good shit coming. I think we're doing Mile 22 this week.
Is that what we've decided on? It was either that or Crazy Rich.
Or Crazy Rich Asians. I'm going to go Mile 22.
Mile 22?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do Mile 22.
Besides that, once again, a major shout out to my boy Tavon.
There it is.
Greatness.
It was a pleasure,
Patterson.
man. I have to go home and watch some more movies because
Get caught up.
Get caught up because this could have got real goddamn intimidating.
I'm telling you,
if we didn't.
When you were,
But I've watched a lot of movies. I held my own though. I'm good.
And when you have us over on Pillow Talk, we'll just have to read the Kama Sutra a couple times.
you put your finger there. Gotcha.
Man, don't put your finger.
With that being said, this is Back to the Classic. We'll see y'all next week, y'all. Love you. Peace.